Good morning, and I welcome you, students, for another amazing session on matter and its surroundings. Last time, students, we have told you there are three states of the matter. What we told you? How many states of the matter there? Three states of the matter, which you experience in your everyday life. Am I sure?
Yes, sir.
What were the three states of the matter, students? We talked about solids, we talked about liquids, and we talked about gases. So we are very much familiar with all the three states. We are drinking water, student. This is the water, hot water, which I am taking. So liquid is very important to me. Water is very precious, for the life. Solids are around me, and air, I am inhaling air, that
Yes.
respiration. So three states of the matter we are experiencing at every part of our life. Now, what was the basic difference between the three states of the matter? What is the basic difference? The question will be asked to you, student. What are the characteristics of solids? What are the characteristics of liquids? What are the characteristics of gases, students? And last time we have shown you some activities. Some activities have been done in order to find, whether they have a fixed volume, they have a fixed mass, or they can act as fluids, they can flow, or the particles are moving continuously, where or the particles are very closely packed in somewhere, how compressible they are. All these properties we wanted to check, student, and we performed certain activities in our previous lectures. And what we discovered, can you tell me what are the properties of the solid, student, which you discovered from the last lectures? What do you find about solids? That
Sir,
solid
solids have definite shape with distinct boundaries and has it fixed volume.
definite shape
Yes, sir.
and fixed volume,
Yes, sir. And sir, distinct bound.
distinct boundaries. What about the solids, are compressible or not?
No, sir. Solids are not much compressed
Not,
because sir, they are rigid.
they are rigid. Solids are rigid. Very good answer. Very good answer given by you. Okay, what are the characteristics of the liquids which we obtained, student, after doing certain activities? What do you find?
Sir, sir,
Ah,
liquids do not have fixed shape, but they have fixed volume. And sir, they are fluids because they flow. So they can
liquids.
be somewhat compressed.
They can be compressed, but a little more than the solid, students. So they are also called fluids because they can flow. Important property. Liquids can flow. And what about the gases, student? What type of properties the gases have?
Sir, gases do not have any fixed shape or fixed volume. They take up the shape of the container in which they are present.
Anything else which is more
Yes,
important
sir.
about the gas? What is the most
Yes,
important property of the gas? I'm asking
sir.
now.
They are also known as fluids.
I am saying what is the most important property of the gas, students? What answer you will give?
Sir, gases can be compressed.
That is very important. Finally, you got the answer. You see that our lectures are designed in such a way that your participation is essential, students. These are live seminars, live webinars. You will participate, you will act, and you will learn, student. You will learn. You will have energy, student, energy. Got my point? You have
Yes, sir.
energy. So when we participate, student, we learn more. So the most important thing is gases can be compressed. This property is very useful nowadays. Where it is being used? Where it
Sir,
is being
sir, oxygen is supplied to hospitals in the oxygen cylinders.
Excellent answer. Now you see that you are experiencing corona pandemic, and oxygen is in great demand. Recently there was a great shortage of oxygen gas, and
Yes,
India is trying to get oxygen from different countries, also from different sources, also, and setting up plants of the oxygen gas because of the shortage. But when it comes to transportation, student, transportation, if I want to transport gas, student, it will be very difficult. Why? Transportation of gas by volume will be very difficult by volume, because gas occupies very large volume, student.
yes, sir.
So if I want to transport a gas, then what I will do, student, because gases are compressible, I will take the gas and compress it. compress it, student, and then what happens? Then you will have a student, what you have seen, cylinders. So what you get, student, the gases are compressed, and this is a cylinder, student. Here the gas is compressed and it is the liquid oxygen, student. The oxygen gas is compressed so that it becomes liquid, and then it is transported. You can see that. So compressibility is very, very essential, student, if for the gases, and that is how the lives are being saved, students. Now, gases is a very important property. One more property of the gas, you can tell me which is important, student, and is very responsible for our life, student. What important property of the gas?
Sir, gases can diffuse.
Okay, excellent answer. Excellent answer. That diffusion is very, very important property, students. What is happening? You have heard about pollution, students?
Yes, sir.
Waste products. This is the industry chimney, student. You see the black smoke coming out, student. What are these, student? Carbon dioxide and other gases, student. Poisonous gases. Poisonous gases. The industrial waste, student. What happens, student? As soon as the gases come, they get spread, they get diffused, student. They are diffused in air, and then they are carried away. See the situation? They spread everywhere. If such a property will not be there, then what will happen, student? Then they will stick around and will cause serious damage. So you can see there are certain properties of the solids, properties of the liquids, properties of the gases, student. Now the question comes, why there is a difference in the property of solids, liquids and gases? Okay, what is your answer, students?
Sir, this is because of the arrangement of molecules.
Particles which have make up these solids. What is the difference?
Sir, in solids, particles are very closely packed. In liquids,
Okay,
solid-
here you can see this is a solid, student, and solid is made up of small particles. As you can see, these particles are very closely packed, students, closely packed. Here the particles are less closely packed than solid. This is a liquid, this is our water. You can see these are magnified images, students. Particles are very, very tiny, very, very small. We can't see them. So
yes.
we are magnifying the images billions of times, so that we are just showing you the picture in order to understand the difference. Here you can see that there is some more space between them. So particles are less closely packed, less as compared. And in gases, you can see this is a gas, student. The particles of the gas, student, they are farther away from each other. So the particles of the gas, they are, you can see, at large distances as compared to liquids and solids. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that, students? Now everything we talk, there is a reason of that. Our purpose is, students, to understand each and every word. What is the, why do they have such a thing arrangement? Something is very close, something is less, something is farther away, particles are farther away. What is the reason for that, students? What is the reason? You are aware of that, students?
Sir, that might be because of the kinetic energy,
Intermolecular
force of attraction.
attractive forces are there between the molecules. If the forces are very, very strong, students, then what will happen? The particles will come closer. And if they become less, they are still like liquids. And if they least negligible, in gas, you can say intermolecular forces of attraction are negligible. So because of this, the consequence, the result of this is, students, that the motion of the particle, here the gas particles, gas molecules will move much faster, student. Why will they move faster, student? You are saying particles of gas will move faster That means they have a higher
Kinetic energy.
kinetic energy. Therefore, students, when the force of attraction is strong, they are very close to each other, closely packed, and the solids will become rigid. If the force of attraction is weaker, they become liquids, and if it is the least, then what happens? Intermolecular attractive forces between the particles are very weak. Student, you have a helium gas, you have a neon gas, you have a hydrogen gas, oxygen gas. Student, their intermolecular attractive forces are weaker. So what happens? The result is that, student, they are moving faster in that air. You have seen that oxygen gas and nitrogen also. So this is a main difference between solids, liquids, and gases. Do you know that gas exerts pressure, students?
Yes, sir.
Why will the gas exert pressure? Why will a gas exert pressure? Do you experience the pressure of the air?
No, sir.
No, sir. Why? Do you mean to say that air has no pressure? Are you trying to
Uh,
say there's no pressure of the air?
No, sir. But sir, body pressure is more than the pressure is equal to the pressure of air.
All right. So what we are saying, the air also has a pressure, student, but we are not experiencing it because our body also has a pressure. So they are at equilibrium. So this is very important, student, that the gas exerts a pressure. It may be invisible and not experienced if we are on Earth. So under certain conditions, we can see, atmospheric pressure, 1 atm, 1 atm. You heard about 1 atm?
Yes, sir.
1 atmospheric pressure. 1 atmospheric pressure, students. If you use a barometer, you will be able to measure it. You will be sometimes the unit of bar, student. These are the units of the pressure. Gas, air has a pressure. Air has a pressure, students. Now, when you have balloons, you see air inside this, you see the pressure is there. If it becomes too much, it will burst, student. All right. Okay, we know that. So we have here, student, a table to show the differences in the properties of solids, liquids, and gases. Differences between the properties or characteristics of solids, liquids, and gases. If I take the shape, student, solids have definite shape, liquids have no definite shape. You can pour a liquid in a glass in a cup, then it takes the
Yes, sir.
shape of that. It is in
Yes.
this water is in the glass. Okay. And volume, definite volume, definite volume. What about the gas? You are saying it has no definite volume.
Yes.
It will be put in any container, it will go inside that container. Compressibility is very important for gases. We said highly compressible. This is a very important property, highly compressible, students, because that property is important. Diffusion also, you said gases can diffuse easily, and these two properties are very important, very important. And fluidity, solids are not flowing, student. They show fluidity, they show fluidity. Different liquids show different amounts of fluidity. Put a drop of honey,
Yes, sir.
it is less thick, but if you have water, it flows more easily than the honey. Again, it is determined by the inter-attractive forces between these particles or molecules which make up that. So you can note down, this table is important. There is a question in the NCERT book that give the differences in the properties. These we can make a table, student, in the exam and give the properties. How many properties we are saying? We have given a few of them which are very important. You can use them. Questions are asked sometimes, students. What he says, question number 1 is on the screen, student. What is the question? The mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. What is density, student?
The mass per unit.
Density. They are defining as mass per unit volume. Arrange the following in order of increasing density, student. There you have air, you have exhaust from chimneys, you have honey, you have water, chocolate. What is How will we arrange them, students?
Sir, as we know, solids have most density as
Okay.
compared to liquids and gases.
All right, then what answer we were going to write in the exam, student? Arrange them. What he says in increasing order, following in order of increasing density. Increasing density, student. What is our answer, student?
Sir, first will be air.
Air. Air
Yes,
will have the lowest density.
yes,
Next,
sir, exhaust from chimneys.
exhaust from chimneys, students. Then
Sir, then cotton.
cotton is there. Then
Sir, water.
water. Then
Sir, chalk.
water, chalk.
And
Then
then, sir, iron.
iron. Okay, that is the correct answer given by you. Next question is on the screen, student. Tabulate the differences in characteristics of the states of matter. We have shown you a table just now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is the answer of that table which we have shown. Answer A, B part, student. Comment upon the following. Rigidity.
Sir, solids are rigid.
Okay. Solids are rigid. When you want to compressibility.
Sir, solids cannot be compressed. Liquids can be somewhat compressed and gases can be compressed.
Gas is
easily.
highly compressible, we said. Gases are highly compressible. You have answered the question. Okay, very good. What is the fluidity, student?
Sir, fluidity means the characteristic for flowing. So,
Okay,
sir, water and gases can liquid and gases can.
fluidity of gas is very high, and then liquid solids do not have fluidity. We said that. Filling of a filling a container.
Sir, gas can fill the gas.
What about the shape, student?
Sir, solids have definite shape. Liquids also have definite shape, but sir, gases do not have shape.
Okay, gases do not have any shapes. Okay, kinetic energy. When I say
Sir, kinetic energy of gases is maximum.
okay, in kinetic energy is highest in gases because the particles are moving randomly at a faster speed than less liquid and least. What about the density?
The solids have maximum density.
Density of solid is more than liquid, and liquid is more than gas. So this is the order of the density, students. Therefore, we can answer the question, students, and that table is already with you. When we answer the question, we know how to answer the question, students. All right, more questions are coming, students, on the screen. Question 3A part. Answer 3, student. What is A? A gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept, student.
So this is because the molecules move randomly.
Okay.
Molecules of gases move randomly. So, sir, it fills completely the vessel.
You are saying molecules of gas move freely, randomly, and why? Because there is a force of attraction between them is very small. So it will fill the entire container. Next question. Gas exerts pressure on the walls of the container.
Sir, this is because the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules of the gases is minimum, and sir, the molecules move randomly and hit each other, and also the walls of container.
The pressure is of the gas is due to pressure of gas is due to bombardment of gas particles on the walls of the container, student. These are the particles, they are hitting this wall. So when they will hit the wall, student, there will be a pressure which is force per unit area. You have heard about it. The pressure is due to these particles are bombarding the container. They are bombarding all sides, student, everywhere. You can see here, here, and pressure is all same everywhere because equal number of bombardment collisions are taking place. These particles are colliding with the walls, pushing the wall. So they are applying a force on the wall. The force per unit area is called the pressure, student. So gas has a pressure. Okay. What is the C question, students? A wooden table. Why do you say wooden table is a solid, student?
Sir, this is because a wooden table has definite shape, distinct boundaries, and fixed wall.
It has definite shape, distinct boundary, and is hard, student. You can see, can you compress it? No. So it has the other properties which we have listed in the table, student. Therefore, it is a solid, student. So it has properties of the solids. It has properties of solid, students. Okay. All right. Then next question is coming on the screen, students. We can easily move our hand in air, but to do the same through a block of solid, you need a karate expert. What do you mean by this, student?
Sir, this is because
Hmm.
the particles in air has least intermolecular force of attraction, and therefore they move randomly.
That means there is a lot of space between these particles. You can see that a lot of space is there. I can move my hand. I can write. Otherwise, how will I move my hand, student? How will I walk in the air? I'm walking, air is present. So there's a lot of space between the particles of the air. Therefore, students, we are able to walk, student, lot of empty space. We can say there is a lot of empty space, student, between the particles of air. Therefore, what we can do, we can easily walk. Next question, student. Liquid generally have lower density as compared to solid, but you must have observed, student, ice floats on water. What is the meaning of this? Ice floats on water. What answer?
This means ice has low density than water.
The density of ice is less than water. If it is less, it will float. Why the density of ice is less than water, student? You are saying when you go from water to ice, density depends on mass per unit volume. So volume becomes more, volume increases. Why will the volume increase, student?
Sir, this is because ice also has water, and
What else it has?
sir, it has molecules, particles.
No, this is related with the structure of ice, student. Ice has a cage-like structure. And student, This is because of the water molecules form hydrogen bonds, and this structure expands, student. There is expansion which takes place, student, when you have, okay. So
Yes.
due to that, student, there is some vacant space between them. Water molecule form hydrogen bonds and get a cage like structure having empty space between them. So there is empty space between that. The result of that is the volume of ice becomes more and density of ice is less than density of the water. So when the density of ice is less than water, what will happen, student? It will float on water. So here it is related with the density basically. So you can say density of ice less than density of water. Therefore, ice floats on water. This is important question, student, asked at many times. I hope you are making your notes, students.
Yes, sir.
These notes are important because they will help you. When you write, you learn more, students. So therefore, you keep writing, keep writing. Now we are coming to a second question. We have seen, students, what you have seen. There are three states of the matter. Do you know certain substances, they can exist in different states? A substance can exist in solid, a substance can exist in liquid, a substance can exist in gas also.
Yes, sir.
You know, for example, when I say water, water at room temperature, and my room temperature, the temperature at which I am working now, room temperature. What is the state of this water? Tell me.
Sir, it is in liquid.
Liquid form. Okay, liquid. You have a refrigerator. You open that ice box.
Yes, sir.
What is that state of water in your refrigerator?
Sir, it is the form of solid as ice.
Refrigerator tray. You see solid ice. Okay. Now you heat the water, student. When you boil the water, what happens? You get water vapor.
Yes, sir.
Water vapor. Even right now in the atmosphere has got water vapor, student. So you are saying H2O solid, H2O liquid, and H2O gas. What are three states of the? Similarly, you have heard liquid nitrogen. They are saying, oh, liquid nitrogen. You are saying liquid oxygen now.
Yes, sir.
Oxygen is a gas. You are saying liquid oxygen. That means it is possible to change, student, the state of the substance. How will we change the state of the substance? So what happens? Can the matter change its states? What you say, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, it can change the state. Example, you are giving example. So if you can take solid ice, you heat it, it will form liquid. You take heat it, it can boil it, it can form vapor. So question is, student, as you said, solid as ice, liquid has familiar water, gas, water vapors are there in the atmosphere, student. What is humidity? You saying it is humidity.
Yes,
Where
sir.
it's coming from? There is a moisture, water vapors in the atmosphere, student. During rainy seasons, there is more of water vapor. So we can say matter can change its state. Now the question will be matter can change the state. The next question will be how the matter can change state. How the matter can change its state, student. If I have solid ice, student, you are saying it is converted into water, liquid, and further I can convert water liquid into water vapor or water gas. How will you do it? What properties we can use, student, to change the state of the matter? That means if I heat it, student, what happens? It becomes water. If I heat this, it can become water vapor. Water vapor. So let us perform some activity, student. Experiment. In order to study the effect of temperature on, student, the state of the matter, effect of temperature. Okay. I will study, student, the effect of change of temperature. Take about 150 gram of ice in a beaker. This is a beaker, student. Can you see a beaker? This is a beaker, student. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Beaker. Students, beaker. What we are doing? You will take 150 gram of ice. It has ice inside this ice. 150 gram of ice, student. Suspend a laboratory thermometer. This thermometer will do what? It will record the temperature. Okay? Now here is a burner. Slowly you start heating the beaker on a low flame. Okay? Note the temperature when the ice starts melting. At some temperature, student, ice starts melting. I am saying. You can note it down, the reading in the thermometer. Now put a glass rod in the beaker and heat while stirring till the water starts boiling. After some time, what you will find? When the entire ice melts, what will be formed then?
The water.
You had ice, student, solid. Heat it. It will become water, liquid. Then you further heat it. What will happen, student?
Sir, it will become water.
It will become water vapor, student. But we are recording the temperature readings. They are important. Temperature reading. Why? We will tell you why. Why are we recording temperature reading, students? This is the second part of the experiment. Here is the water beaker and you are heating the water. When water is a liquid, it will be heated. It will be getting converted into water vapor, student. You have to note down the temperatures. Record of the temperature is essential, student. Okay, in these experiments. So what you will observe, student, if you make a table of the temperature, first it was solid. Okay? First thing, when I am heating a solid, you start heating the solid ice, student. What is happening? The temperature of the solid will start increasing, student.
Yes, sir.
मान लीजिए ice was at -10 degrees Celsius. Supposing this is the temperature, you start heating. What will happen? The temperature will start increasing, student.
Yes.
Okay? On increasing the temperature of the solids, what happens? When you heat, on increasing the temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase. Okay?
Yes.
Kinetic energy of the particle increases, student. So particles will vibrate with greater speed. Okay? Now the energy supplied by the heat, energy is supplied by the heat When you are heating, energy is being supplied. Okay? What it will do, student? There are forces of attraction between the particles. Okay? There are particles, student. There are forces of attraction between the particles. This is my water molecule. This is my water molecule. This is my water. These are water molecules, student. Water, 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 like this, water. They are very, very large particles. You have know about the size is very, very small. Very, very large water particles, student. They are attracting each other. In the ice, if it is solid ice, there is attractive force, student, between them. Okay? So what happens, students? You are supplying the energy, student. Then this will break the energy, the heat energy, student, will break these attractive forces, student. And when these attractive forces will be overcome, energy is required to break the attractive intermolecular forces of attraction. You need energy. Why do you need energy or heat? To break attractive, okay, intermolecular forces of attraction between the molecules. So where is the heat going, student? This heat is breaking these particles of water. So they are now separating. Particles are separating, student. So as you can see, they are separating and moving away from each other, away from each other. So here the particles were occupying fixed position. You know, this is water, student. H2O, H2O, H2O. I'm saying H2O like this. There is a fixed position of these particles. Now this is attractive force is breaking, student. When you start heating, then they start moving to this state. What is this state known as? Liquid state. Okay? This is a liquid state, student. Solid to liquid. You are saying water, you have ice, solid. And this is my water, liquid, student. So this process is taking place, ice to water, ice to water. What is the meaning of that, student? That heat is being absorbed. Let me put it this way right now. I'm saying, student, when you are going from this to this state, heat is being absorbed in the form of energy by the ice to melt into liquid. What happens where the heat is going, student? Heat is going in melting the ice. And at that time, you will find, student, when solid melts, when solid melts, students, its temperature remains constant. Its temperature remains constant. Very important point, student. You are giving heat to the ice, but temperature is not rising when ice is melting into water. Why it is not increasing? Tell me why the temperature is constant when ice is melting.
So this is because heat is absorbed by the ice to convert into water.
Because I just shown you there is attractive forces between the water molecules. So you have to break them. You have to give energy to dissociate them, and then they come to the from solid to the liquid form, student. So that energy is all the heat or energy you are giving is going in breaking these, overcoming these attractive forces, students, and that is what we call as a latent heat. Latent heat of fusion. Fusion means water, you are converting ice into water. So all the heat first will melt that ice into water. First point. So there is a force of attraction between the molecules. So that are being breaking, student. So the melting point, when the solid melts, its temperature becomes constant, student, it will not change at that point. So that temperature is called the melting point. And what is the melting point of ice, student? Okay. So what we are saying, student, the temperature at which solid melts to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called its melting point. At 1 atmospheric pressure, student, where we are saying that the at pressure on the air of the air where you are sitting in your room is 1 atmosphere. So that melting point, there will be a temperature at which the solid will start melting, student. That is called the melting point. Okay, the melting at which solid melts to become a liquid. There will be a definite value of that. There will be a definite value of that, student.
Yes.
And you know, the melting point of a solid is an indication of strength of the force of attraction between the particles. I told you,
Yes.
if there is a stronger force of attraction between the particles, then you will need more heat. Higher temperature will be required, student, to melt the solid. If the force of attraction is weaker, less heat will be required, so that temperature will be less. The higher the melting point, higher the melting point, student, greater is the strength of the attractive force. Greater the attractive force, students. ठीक है? Between the particles. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Important question was asked in the paper also, students. Something has a higher melting point, that means the particles are holding with stronger attractive force. So it needs more heat, more energy is required for that. And second important point, we said when solid melts, its temperature remains the same. So we said where the heat goes, student, that heat goes to break it. That heat, student, goes to break what it is breaking, attractive forces between the particles. Therefore, temperature will remain constant. Temperature remains constant, student. At that point, the temperature, you already know, this is what we call as, student, that heat energy which is gone to melt the solid, what do we call it as? Latent heat. Latent means hidden heat. The temperature will become constant at that point, student. So the amount of heat energy which is required to melt, student, a unit of a substance, solid into liquid, will be called, what we say, latent heat of fusion, student. What is that? Latent means hidden, student. Latent heat of fusion. What we call this? Latent heat of fusion. This is latent heat of fusion, student. Noted? Note down, note down. These are important points. Student questions could be put on these points. They asked a question in the paper, what is latent heat of fusion, student? Very important question. What is latent heat of fusion or melting of a solid? The quantity of heat in joules. Joules is a SI unit, you know. Joules is SI unit of, student, heat and energy also. They are the energy or heat. SI unit is joules, student. Latent heat of fusion of solid is the quantity of heat in joules required to convert 1 kg of solid at its melting point to liquid. without any change in temperature, because you know when melting will start, the temperature will become constant. So that heat is breaking the particles attractive forces, students. That is why it is called latent heat of fusion. The latent heat of fusion of water is 3.34 10 power 5 joules per kg per kilogram per kg. If I take 1 kg of ice, student, if you want to melt it into 1 kg of water, and if you want water, this is solid, this is a liquid, student, then what is the value? How much heat will be required, student? Heat or energy, 3.34 joules. So we say per kg, per kg. These are the units of the latent heat of fusion. And that temperature at which this will happen is called the melting point, student. You know what is the melting point of ice?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, 0 degrees Celsius.
0 degree Celsius is also called 273 Kelvin. K stands for Kelvin. Kelvin is given as degree Celsius plus 273, students. This is the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. We use in chemistry all the time Kelvin. In all the questions numericals, what do we use? Kelvin scale. So students, we have seen by supplying energy, you can melt ice into water. But at the melting point, temperature becomes constant. Question was why temperature becomes constant at the melting point. You said that heat, that energy goes in breaking the inter-attractive forces of attraction between the particles. When all the ice will melt into water, further if you increase, then temperature will increase, because this is liquid now, completely changed into liquid. Okay? All right. Then student, at one stage, what will happen? You, in the second experiment, which I demonstrated activity, you have taken liquid water, you are heating. What will happen, student? Temperature will rise. At one stage, water will start boiling. When water will start boiling, student, what is that temperature?
The 100 degrees Celsius.
Okay, you are saying you have water, liquid. It is being converted into water gas, student. So you are saying at what temperature you are saying?
100 degrees.
At temperature, student, 100 degrees Celsius means plus 373 Kelvin. Okay? What happens, student? That is the boiling point of water. Boiling point of water, student. Boiling temperature of the water. That is the boiling point temperature. 373 Kelvin. The temperature at which I can say that. What is the boiling point of a liquid? The temperature, ठीक है, the temperature at which liquid starts boiling, at which liquid starts boiling, at what pressure, student? At the atmospheric pressure. At the atmospheric pressure is called the boiling point of the liquid. The boiling point of water, you already said 373 Kelvin. So boiling point of H2O, 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin, student. This is the boiling point of the water. What will happen when liquid water will start boiling? When I will reach this temperature, then temperature will become constant.
Yes, sir.
The temperature at the boiling point, temperature becomes constant. Why? Because there is an attractive force between the molecules in the liquid state. You have to break them, student, in order to vaporize it. So water has a what we call as a latent heat of vaporization. That amount of heat needed for conversion of 1 kg of liquid at its boiling point to gas at the same temperature. At the same temperature, what is that boiling temperature? The latent heat of water at 0 degree Celsius or latent heat of fusion was 334 joules per gram. Per gram. This is per gram, not per kg. ठीक है? Or in calories this. On the other hand, latent heat of water at 100 degrees Celsius, that is vaporization, is 223 joules. What we are saying, latent heat of vaporization is very large as compared to latent heat of the fusion, student. So what is the reason when latent heat of vaporization is much larger, student? Because you will need more energy, student, to completely remove the water molecules from the liquid state. There you are melting something into liquid, then you are converting liquid into gas. What happens, student? So when you are converting into steam, then you have to provide more energy, student. So these extra energy of the particles, where it goes, it forms in the form of steam in the case of water. In the case of water, you know, the steam, student, has more energy than water boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. So if I have water 100 degrees Celsius, steam is also 100 degree, but steam has more energy. What is that? Latent heat of vaporization.
Yes, sir.
Latent heat of vaporization is also there in the case of the steam, student. So there is an extra energy in the steam, student, in the form of latent heat of vaporization. That is why steam, if you have steam on your face, you will get burnt, student. It will cause more severe burns, student, than boiling water, because it has more energy, student. It has more energy. Therefore, we can say latent heat of vaporization is higher than latent heat of fusion, since the gas molecules have largest intermolecular space and the force of attraction between molecules is almost negligible. Therefore, more energy will be required to convert. So more energy will be required, student, to convert liquid to gas, then solid to liquid. Here the difference in the distance of the particle is much less, but here the particles will have to be moved farther apart, student, very, very
Yes.
farther apart. So therefore we will experience this, student. Therefore we can conclude, student, that we can change the states of the matter by changing the temperature. I can change states of matter by change of temperature, students. Increase the temperature, add heat, solid to liquid, liquid to gas, decrease the heat, remove the heat, cool, then you can go back gaseous to liquid and then solid. So you can go this direction by increasing the temperature, and the reverse, you are
Decreasing temperature.
decreasing
Temperature.
the temperature. All right, we end up the
Yes, sir.
lecture here, students. Then you have seen there are three states of the matter, and by change of temperature, it is possible to convert one state of matter into another. And there is a latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, boiling point, and melting point, students.
Yes, sir.
All right, then my best wishes, keep on subscribing our channel and forward it to your friends so that they can subscribe the channel and get free video lectures
Yes,
or the lectures which we are giving. So at least you send it to your 5 or 10 friend students so they can, because we work very hard for these lectures. You see, a lot of hard work is required to make these lectures. You can see that how much hard work is there.
yes,
Then this will be uploaded in YouTube, and then if more students will get benefit, it is good for us. Then we will can work more. Otherwise, how much hard work we are doing. Kindly send it to your friends
yes.
so that they can subscribe the channel, and we will meet you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.